Not like that Mexican. They're like, maybe that's like the difference. You can start recording whenever. Get canceled right in the first 10 seconds. I think that's like is there like a difference? You know how like black people are like there's like a difference between.
If you're just tuning in, we're talking about we're just talking about Mexicans going
Mexicans.
Nacho cheese. Sponsored by Jose Cool RVO.
He's a great matchmaker,
Who is?
Jose. That and Don Julio, they just kind of go around.
Yeah, they'll get you fucking outside your gender.
Yeah. Have you ever experimented, Chris? Oh shit! While he's doing it.
The name is Nef when we're talking to civilians. Of course not.
Of course not.
Look at me. I'm a man's man. Let me wash this down with my personal gallon of tequila.
Oh, hell yeah. Please tell me that that's what you're drinking.
No.
I was like, who the fuck is in that truck and just parks like halfway in the lawn? I was like, oh, that's Nef. There he is.
Yeah, I have an excuse. I don't. But
He's like, I have an excuse, but I don't.
Yeah, man. I'm not fluid in that way.
You just kind of just park wherever you are.
I thought we were talking about sex still.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that too. You know what I mean? It's like all the same thing. Where you park your car in a garage, in a cave.
Right.
You know what I mean? Wherever you like to park it.
As long as the balls are chalked in the back, keep you from sliding down.
Nice and
getting
tight.
muddy.
Yeah.
It's getting muddy.
Like a little swim, like a swim cap for your balls.
I'm drinking tequila, you're drinking wine. Who's fluid here?
I am. Have you seen my hair in this fucking shirt?
Hey, man, just because guys are, like, nice doesn't mean they receive anal from strange men in an alley.
Yeah. Just because I do doesn't mean I'm also feminine, by the way.
Yeah. Who knows what
He's like, what? When did taking dick in the ass make you gay?
Did you see Hood Panda's viral video this week?
You said whose?
Hood Panda has a viral
which one?
video this week.
I saw a few videos, and I might have seen whatever video it was before it was viral, so I don't know.
He was walking on
was it a
High
fight?
Street, maybe?
Was it a fight?
No.
Oh.
It's two guys digging butt fighting. One guy's got a thong on. He in barefoot. I didn't see the rest. Once I saw that, I was just like, this is not
Dang.
Yeah.
Is that still up?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it's not. There's no penetration, so.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was gonna say it's weird because that fucking dog, dude. No, I was gonna say it's crazy because some people like come in and out of my feeds, like over time.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like Dave Berkey, he's one of those guys that like was out of my feed for a while, and then he's like all of a sudden just like coming back.
Yeah.
Panda is one of those people that was out of my feed for a while, is back.
It's like now that we've talked about it, it'll pop back up.
Yeah.
It's probably just listening to you, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I've noticed that my ads and my stuff has been changing a little bit. I've been trying to change up the algorithm a little bit. It's been nothing but girls and thongs. And
if I get a advertisement for HIV medicine, I'm gonna have a heart attack. I got it. I knew I had a cough. Do
you think that they could figure that out before you would ever even know?
I think there's probably some sort of math for the type of shit that you're into would make you more susceptible to certain things than others.
Like they track your eating habits, or they track like your shopping habits.
Where
and all
you
of a
hang
sudden
out.
you're like, all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute,
Where you hang out at. I mean, it's just data. You know what I mean? If you can confirm that you have named something.
Testicular cancer,
then we can just like sort of reverse engineer what got you there and then compare that to the lifestyles of similar people. You know, it's also hereditary stuff too, but they got that information anyway. So it's like, you know, white guys who live next door to Mexicans and drink wine and vape, testicular cancer.
Boom, there it is. I don't have testicular cancer. I don't know what that would be like. You know, every once in a while, you know, when I was growing up, I was always told that, like, oh, you should, like...
and 4 dogs.
You should, like... Yeah. That's what gave me the testicular cancer. All the peanut butter licking. Just, like... No. Like, I remember as a kid, they used to, like... That was, like, one of those fears that they'd be like, you know, make sure you feel... around, you know, because you might have like
a bump
or something.
Oh, it's like memories.
Yeah. And so then I was like down there, you know, as a kid, and I was like, bro, I'm almost positive I have it. But every time I go to the doctor, you know, he's just like, cough, all right, you're good. I'm like, all right.
You got a male doctor?
Yeah.
So you do fuck around.
You have a female doctor?
Yeah. I don't even like her touching my balls. It's always whoever it is. It's weird. I'm just giving you shit. I just don't like. I don't like any of it.
What ethnicity is she?
How do you say white?
How do you say white?
Yeah, she's white. I didn't get to choose.
So she's like, is she like a mean white, or is she a nice one?
No, she's super nice, you know. But I get the feeling that she thinks too highly of me. Like, I get the feeling.
Well, I mean, once you see your genitalia, you're just like, this guy, he's a god. He's like, how? It says in your chart you're 42, but you don't look a day over 15, sir.
I stole that birth certificate. I'm 76. You know this.
Yeah, I know that.
But anyway, I feel like it's not anybody. It's not white people's fault. I got to figure out how to say this on stage because I talk about white people so much, but it's not white people's fault that they've been programmed to like sort of like ignore certain shit. You know, like you look at a black dude and you're like, oh shit, LeBron, you know, dunks from half court. So she doesn't seem like she thinks I could be fucked up. You know what I mean? Plus, like, I live with my dad. Growing up, he never took me to the doctor or dentist or any of that, and I gave her that history. It was like, I hadn't been to the doctor in so long and shit, and I'm fine, you know, boxed and everything. So she's like, I think she disregards some certain shit when I'm like, I got a pain here, a pain. You know, they think we're too strong. Yeah, it's programming. I was at the bar, at the club, at the I won't even say what club it was. But I was at the bar just leaning there for
talking about fluid, Axis, Union, I don't know.
And she looked at me, but just kind of didn't see me, you know? And then this white chick walks up next to me, and she's like, hey, can I help you with it? And then she realized that she had ignored me, you know what I mean? And it wasn't her fault. I talked to her before. It's just that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think white people can understand this because you don't have to go through it. But it's like there's something in the programming that has made us sort of treat each other a certain way.
You know, the thing that I have found in my experience is that, like, whenever I've been, like, you know, just a normal human being, you know, to another person, just like to a black person, just like in a grocery store or something, they're always super appreciative, like overly appreciative. Mm-hmm. Like, I had a girl, I just, like, literally... we, like, you know, came to an intersection and she was like, you can go ahead. And I was like, no, you go ahead, you know, and it wasn't anything crazy, you know, whatever. She followed me outside the store and like gave me a hug, and she was like,
Whoa.
"You're so nice, dude." It was weird,
You see what I'm saying?
dude. I was like,
programming.
dude, all I did was let you
Yeah.
just walk in front of me. It wasn't like nothing, you know. I'm not in any rush right now. Like,
And if I would have like accidentally went in front of her and had that like crossover at the that bottleneck at the Y, she'd be like, "Nah, I'm joking." But you like Jesus, that's why. She just wanted to thank Jesus.
yeah, exactly. Man, I really hope that people don't look at me and they're like, "There he is." I'm like, "Oh no."
You have the kind eyes, but you're just high and shit.
Yeah, you just like,
You got the hair, the authentic smile.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I see it. I see it. But what about someone like you?
What about me?
If you grow out your hair, you know, maybe grow out your whole beard.
Then I'm Bob Marley. You see what happened to him?
Martyrs, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Marley, he used to do the LSD stuff on his like forehead and stuff.
Really?
That was him, right?
I don't know.
Bob Marley.
I don't have a lot of Bob Marley history.
Oh wait, I don't know who I'm talking about. I think that's Jimmy. I don't know who. You know what? Skip.
I just know he was assassinated.
Dude, I feel like every single person in history that's ever died from an overdose. We talked about this, I think, the last time. I think
Did we?
Bob Saget. Remember?
Yeah, in the hotel and shit.
Yeah.
It's still happening, man. I even looked up some new ones like Anna Nicole Smith. I mean, it was new to me. I didn't know she died from a accidental overdose. Her and her son, who happened to be potential inheritors of a billionaire oil tycoon's estate, who she was married to. Now she wasn't all that cool for even trying to get that from him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he looked dead when she met him, you know, but she was like thinking she was gonna get some of his money.
That's crazy.
Oopsie. Went to sleep.
This is why you got to marry poor, dude.
Who?
Just in general, just people. Just marry poor, because then that doesn't happen. They don't murder you. I guess they'll murder you for your money instead.
She was already rich by our standards. She was a model already at the time, successfully.
See, so what's the point of getting more money?
Man, money is a motherfucker, man.
But it's like, at what point is it too much? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at what point am I like, all right, I'm satisfied?
There's got to be, at some level, the elites probably know once you reach so many millions, there's things that you can do that you and your children will never be broke.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not $1 billion. It's probably less than $1 billion. There's so many people are already probably there. But, like, that's a good question. That's something that should be answered, because maybe after that, your taxes should go, like, crazy.
Yeah.
So you could give back, because otherwise you can't get any more money. It doesn't mean nothing. Now you just want power and control, and you know what I mean? And you just want to be able to whip niggas, you know?
Yeah, dude.
And I don't mean black people. I mean every poor, you know? I just put something on Threads. I said millionaires hurt the poor doing favors for billionaires, you know? And billionaires just like...
Do you like Threads?
I mean, somebody just told me to do it. So every time I have a thought, I try to put a thought on
So
that.
isn't it just like Twitter?
Yeah, but...
Or X, I guess now?
Sure, but like, I tried that and got absolutely no traction either. And I was spitting bars, son. And then it got nowhere, so I tried Threads.
Yeah, I don't understand the algorithm behind that one.
I think X is chronological. So you get on there and you just look at stuff as it came through. There's no like tricky sort of algorithm there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I guess I just don't have any followers, so it didn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
But
I always hate going on like a new social media, because it's always like the grind of getting followers and everything. It's like, unless you already have like, you know,
a following.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you got to get that following somehow, and you know that's the gift and the curse of the information age we're in as performers, because you want to do it because if you do it, it's done and you're in.
Yeah.
But doing it is like, ugh.
So let me ask you this. So like, let's say you get like, so like for someone who doesn't have like a huge following, like if you had like, let's say you have 5,000 on one account and you're not like gaining that much traction on the other accounts, would you like, lean into that one just super hard?
Well, first of all, I'm nobody to ask, bro.
I mean, yeah, but what would you do? Would you just like, because I feel like,
I feel like yourself thin. Look at you look at Jason, I guess, or Damon Darling, I guess, and that's pretty much all we got in terms of local guys who have done their thing on the social media side. It's
hard. Yeah, I guess it's hard to know when they crossed over. You know what I mean? Like to the other platforms. You know what I mean? Like when they really like started, because it's like once they really blew up on TikTok and stuff like that, then that's when like people on Instagram are like, "Hey, this guy is like funny." But at the same time, he might have been posting on both of them at the exact same time. The entire time.
I don't remember Jason having any more than one page.
Okay.
But I was following him. I started following him in the pandemic too. So maybe there was more. I think he started in the pandemic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he just hit it right in the head at the perfect time and everything.
Dude, he's just he's hilarious.
Like he rolls that shit.
Dude, but you're doing some pretty good stuff though.
Yeah, but I don't do it I can't do it. What I'm doing is nearly as often as he can. Yeah. So.
Still doing all the real estate stuff?
Yeah. I mean, it's not much to do. Give me the rent. No, get the fuck out.
Yeah. How often do you have to kick people out? How many properties do you have again?
I realized something about this question.
Wait. Is it more often than what?
This question is so people can count how much money I might have.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I'm just wondering, like, if you have like 6 properties or something like that, how often are you telling people that they can't?
Well, by the way, I rent the rooms out to homeless people.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
So
if I have a property,
it's probably
with
a conversation a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like some of them probably aren't like keeping up on their shit.
Yeah, and they'll do weird shit that I have to kick them out for.
Just go tell them, yeah.
They'll pay. They might be able to pay the money, but they won't. But they'll go. I had a guy. I would drive past the house and there was a shop, like a grocery cart, shopping cart outside in the driveway, like a car.
No.
And so I just keep going, and every other day I go by and the cart's not there, like he drove to work or something, right? And over the course of like a month, I just keep seeing shit add up, like little bags of shit, little clothes and slippers and shit. Like, what the fuck? Then I saw a garage sale sign, and I'm like, oh no. So I go in there, and he only gets one room out of the 3 rooms that are in this house. But his wall, I just knock on the door. He don't say nothing. I poke in there. I look in, and he's got like ceiling up to the ceiling, and he's a hoarder. But he's hoarding trash, though. You know what I mean? He's not buying stuff on Facebook Marketplace and
trying to flip it.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
He's like pulling stuff off of dead homeless people and then trying to like.
So I had to get him out of there. There was another guy. I don't know if I should say that. There's another guy. Okay, so damn. No, I can't.
Yeah,
say
all right,
I can't say it. I'll tell that one on stage because I could be lying, but you're gonna know I'm telling the truth right now. I'll give you another. Okay, one time. Okay, George Floyd dies on a whatever. Let's say Tuesday, right? Wednesday. I go to this property, right? Just because the other side's empty. It's a double. The other side's empty. I'm like working on the other side. I go past the house. The police are in the front of the house, but I'm not sure if they're in my place or next door. I go around the back part. Police come out the back door, and I'm like, I'm reaching for this guy. Like, man, what the fuck could you possibly be here for, dude? Like, what's going on? And he's white cop, super cool dude. He understood. exactly how I felt. And he was like, it's all good. It's all good. He says, your tenant here sprung a leak in the bathroom, like a pipe disconnected. And so he called 911. George Floyd just got murdered by this cop, and he's got water coming down the walls, and he's like, 911, get over here. I'm being attacked
by water.
This nigga named H2O trying to kill me over here. They do crazy shit, man. I didn't kick him out for that, though, bro. He's been with me forever.
Nice. That's hilarious.
His name, like, he been telling me his name is, let's just say Red. He's been telling me his name is Red all this time. And when I first started to rent these rooms out to homeless people, I had a property manager doing it for me because I didn't know how to do it. And when my property manager moved away, I had to take over where he left off, but I didn't have the paperwork right away for these guys. So I had always been calling the guy Red. And turns out Red didn't have an ID. And it turns out when he gets his check, the people at the check cashing place are just cool with it for a while. But, then they start to get like, hold on, Red, you got to give me something. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, and he's from New York. He's like, well, I'm supposed to go back to Brooklyn. I can't. What you want me to do? And I'm like, you need a birth certificate. I got to take you somewhere and get an ID or something so you can get your check. It's 2-3 months gone by. He ain't paid me. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting outside. I'm like, bring me something, bro. I don't want to talk about it, bro. You got to give me something so we can go down here. I'm sitting outside. He comes to the car. He's got a piece of paper with the word red written on it in red crayon.
No, you're lying. I was like, this at some point, this is a bit.
Yeah, but that's shit like that, man. Jesus, man.
That's funny.
But that goes to show, like, so many people just don't have the intellectual fortitude to contact the landlord. You know what I mean? He gets Social Security, he gets money.
Yeah.
But he just don't have the scruples to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
So they end up on the street. You know what I mean? But once I get them in there squared away, they don't bother me. I'm pretty good for the most part.
Nice.
Until you get a new guy who does something weird, a few months in. I'm a humanitarian.
Is it always a call from somebody, like complaining? Like, hey, like, the roommate's doing something weird.
Nah, most of them don't even have the scruples to call me. I got to go check. I got to go see what's going on.
You're like a babysitter or like a parent. You're like, is everybody doing okay over here? Y'all need to start cleaning your rooms.
The only guy that I can remember right now that's got the smartest is some dude, and this is America, man. He had a wife, he had a house, he had a great job. He had a hip injury, couldn't work. I don't know what his money is like, but he got fucked over, and then the wife left.
They always do.
Yeah, and so that fucked him up, like physical, like emotionally. I don't know if he had to pay her alimony or lost his house in the divorce or something like that, but he ended up homeless. So when the agency brought him to me, he was pissed, and he's a QAnon dude too. Old white man. He won't admit it to me, but I know from the talks that we have, I know who I'm talking to. Come on, I read the audience, and I don't think he cared more than I did. You know what I mean? But Jesus, man, he just got fucked over, and now he's got like he might be a Walmart greeter or something. You know?
You said a what?
A Walmart greeter or something. You know, he had to start from the bottom. You know, somebody who's had a job that
is that the bottom?
Being homeless?
No, I was gonna say being a Walmart greeter.
Plus homeless? Yeah.
As a Walmart greeter? Can you be homeless as a Walmart greeter?
I don't know. I mean, by the time he got that job, he had already been in my place for like a couple months. So he had an address. But just before that, I think it was COVID, he came around.
You know, something I was thinking about, like, if you have a tent, are you homeless?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Need drywall.
You need drywall?
Tent.
What if you put drywall on your tent? Like a little triangle in the street?
Only you would be comfortable like that. Like, I'm not homeless, dude. This is cool.
Yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, man, for a while I was like, I'll live in my car.
I've done it.
Have you?
Yeah. Yeah, I twice. And one time was in a Firebird. So the back of it had that hump in between the back seats. That's not what? That's like a lumbar from death.
Was that here or was that a different state?
No,
oh,
that
shit.
was here.
Damn.
Yeah,
what months was that?
Huh?
How long?
That was in the summertime, and it wasn't long. That wasn't so bad. But then it happened again, maybe a couple years after that. And then I had a Cadillac. I had a homeless with a Cadillac. And that back seat was comfortable, you know. But it was rough, man.
Was that during the summer months as well?
Nah, because I remember having to gas up and leave it on, you know.
At night?
At night for the heat. You know. But it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that to get you ambitious, though.
Yeah.
You know?
I was talking about that with somebody the other day because, like, you know, it's been a while since I've done the podcast. This is the first podcast that I've done in a minute, and
I can tell.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
And one of the things that one of my friends was saying was like, you know, even through all the shit that I was going through over the past like year, the one thing that I always did was still go out to comedy. I was still like going out to comedy, and I was like, well, because it's like in the end, you know, I'm not a podcaster. I'm a comedian.
Sure.
And so it's like, you know, if anything's going to go, it's going to be that. You know what I mean? But like, it wasn't leaving. It was just like, you know, need time to like rebuild everything. You know, like you said, sometimes you got to build from the bottom. And so that's, you know, that's what we had to do. Got a new, you know, studio, whatever, place, new house. This is pretty nice. And yeah, I mean, you just got to stay focused on like the end goal. It's like if you start getting too freaked out about like, you know, yeah, you know, money's important. You got to pay bills and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's like you have to follow what you're doing, because if you don't, then you're just going to become a robot again.
That's the beautiful thing about art, you know, if you love it anyway, you're going to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
And if you just dial down on that, maybe the rest will come around later, you know, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully.
I noticed like a lot of the comics that I see like on the road, like a lot of the comics that I see in so I've met a couple comics in Nashville and I've seen them in Chicago and here. I met another comic in I don't remember where I met her at, but I see her everywhere. And it's like a lot of people have something else going on, you know? Like either they're like dating a flight attendant so they get free flights to get to gigs.
Oh, wow.
You know, or, you know, a rich husband or something that just finances, you know, their lives comedy while they pursue comedy, you know, or like me, like I have a little bit of slightly passive income where I can spend more time doing other shit, you know. Yeah.
Well, and that's like the thing that's like, it's like really important, like that a lot of like some of the younger people that I've talked to, like who do comedy, they don't get like, you know, as you get older and you don't start living with roommates anymore and your rent's like $400, you know, things change. You have to like really start being like, all right, now I have to start working 5 days a week. You know what I mean? Now I have to actually start doing this. And until you are able to find something, you know, like real estate, or if you're like an investor or something like that, or, you know, you sell shit on Facebook Marketplace, until you find something that like is making you some type of income on the side where you're not, you know, having to really touch it, like you're going to be doing that until the other thing kicks off. Like,
yeah, you gotta be used to being poor, I guess. The shit, man. I've never made more than $500 for a weekend, and you know, I've had weekends where I had to fly to or drove to Texas and then flew here and then drove to New York as soon as the flight landed. So that in itself was way more than $500, and that wasn't the $500 weekend. That weekend was maybe a $200 weekend. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it cost me money to do comedy that time, but it was a great experience. I played in 2 comedy clubs out of the top 3 I've ever been at, you know.
Was that some of the clips that you've been posting?
No, I never posted a clip from Cap City Comedy Club in
Okay.
Austin. But I did post a clip from the Stand, New York, a while ago. What did I post
How was that
recently?
trip?
The Stand?
Yeah.
New York? New York is perfect, man. But it's expensive. I mean, if you're staying in Manhattan, you can get there in like 6 hours from here. And but like the train is cool. It's like a little adventure, you know what I mean? You can hit like 3 mics in one night. The mics suck bad, but it makes you better, you know?
Is it like one of those like 3-minute mics?
There's some 3s, there's some 5s. There's a couple places that are kind of cool too. That you might get a 7. They all cost. You probably got to pay $5 to get in it. Probably all of them. Most of them don't have audiences, but
Do they ever?
yeah, there's a couple in Brooklyn. Like there's a place called Tiny Cupboard. You can count on them to have an audience.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
How long were you there for?
I've gone a few times. The longest I've stayed was probably 6-7 days.
Okay.
But
Did you go up every night?
oh yeah, you can go up every night. And
How many?
when I'm booked, I take that back. When I was booked on shows there, I don't go up as much. I might do a set before the show, just so that the show set is my second set of the night.
How many mics have you gone up to, like, the most in like one night there?
In one night, probably 3,
Okay.
maybe 4, because I remember doing one at like 2:00.
Damn.
Yeah, so that night I probably got 4 in.
Wow.
And it's the 2:00 one is like it's a one-way street. It's got 2 lanes, but the inside lane has tents that are connected to the restaurants. Not connected, but you get food from the restaurant out of a little window or coffee or something. And you have to sit underneath this tent, and that's where they have the comedy at. And there's nothing. It's like 5 comics watching you. They just got done last night seeing Mark Norman with a Jerry Seinfeld pop in.
Oh,
so you're not going to make them laugh, you know.
Wow.
But, you know, maybe if somebody walks past and you can make a bit out of that real quick, you'll crack them. And that's what makes you stronger in New York.
You've been doing some pretty cool stuff, though, recently. You've been doing a lot of cool stuff. Like, you've been bouncing around different cities. You've been doing a lot of cool stuff with the Attic.
Yeah, New York was big for me. But this year's been crazy, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you got Dave Chappelle to come to the Attic 2 different times. I mean, I guess technically
3.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess they were like, one of them was like an extra day, though, right? Because you guys had 2 days booked.
Yeah, we had like a Wednesday and Thursday.
And then, like, there was an extra show that was added, like, a couple weeks later.
Yeah.
Wow, that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But what I noticed about him is he'll do comedy anywhere. He just loved it.
He's like, how many people are there? 10? All right, let's do it.
You know what I'm saying?
He's like, am I allowed to do 4 hours? Are they gonna be mad if I like keep the place open? Dude, no, that was super crazy. I remember, who was it? Yeah, I worked at his shot show when he was doing his he did that
like New Year's Eve or something.
No, it was
the movie.
Yeah, he was doing that movie.
He brought Erykah Badu.
Yeah. And I remember they kept the place. He was keeping the place open past like what it was supposed to be. And I remember one of the people that worked there that told me it was like for every like 15 or 30 minutes, it was like an extra $15,000.
Jeez Louise.
Because they had to pay every single person who was still on staff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everyone's hourly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, damn, it's like you got to wonder, like, do you make any money on that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and does he care? You know what I mean?
I think that you do make money, and because like if you look at those ticket prices, like front row at that show had to be over $1,000. You know what I mean? And that's not just the front row. That's those front sections.
Yeah.
And then that holds like 18,000 people. Even though the nosebleeds might be like 50, 80, $100 or something. You're talking a few $1 million.
Yeah.
But he does just love to do the shit, you know?
Yeah.
because I was in New York when he played Madison Square Garden, and one of those nights, I guess he didn't play. Like, he was there for a week, but a couple of those nights there was no Madison Square Garden show planned, and then just out of nowhere, he'd be like, let's go to the cellar. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And I get a text like, come to the cellar. He's at the cellar. I'm like, damn, he's like that quick. He just decided to go.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, so it's like he cares to do this shit at all costs.
He'll do it in the backyard of his house.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those shows was cool too. I saw Andrew Yang there.
Did you really? Did you vote for him?
No.
You felt like a Asian president type of guy. You look.
I'm down for like an entrepreneurial, like, you know, sort of central, not radical left. But
do you think we should have a woman be a president?
Yeah, I think women do much better at almost everything than we do. Much more organized, much less egotistical or some shit they got. I mean, they're just better.
Unless another woman is ruling another country.
I'm about to push the button on that bitch.
She's like, I cannot believe she's wearing that. I wore that last week, and no one cared. The dress wars.
Yeah, man, I think so. But we got to get politicians out of our politics. Dude. It doesn't even matter what gender they are anymore.
Yeah, man, we got to make sure they're also younger.
Younger people, yeah. Man.
I saw this funny ass reel the other day where it was like this couple was like talking to their grandfather, and they're like we want to put you in a spot where they can actually take care of you. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I think it's time that you run for U.S. Senate. And he was like, what are you talking about? Because he's like 72 years old, and he's like super old, and he's like, it's time for you to run for Senate.
At that point, you're just trying to do anything for some young coochie. That's not what we want behind the paperwork.
Why don't you run for office?
Let me tell you. Let me think. I have an F1 in Chicago, an F2. Those are felonies.
You know what? Hey, you know what? Our presidents have done worse.
I don't want to wake up in the morning, though. I'm a nighttime guy.
Run the country at night. Nef at night.
Nef at night, third shift politics, baby.
Dude, you know what? Why don't they do that? Like a first shift president, third shift president, you know what I mean? Just like cut it up in shifts.
Nah, that shit ain't gonna work.
Like have like a swingers couple.
That shit ain't gonna work until we get the oligarchs out of it. Until we got back to the money shit. Too much money.
Yeah.
You know, too much money. I got $1 billion already. This year I make $3 billion more. Let me just pay the politicians to do some shit I want to do so I can make the world the way I want it for the next term.
So then what happens when the aliens show up?
They been here, dog.
So
I don't know.
So what happens? What's the next step?
iPhones, they came and
they gave us iPhones.
They gave us iPhones. They cool as shit.
iPhone 15s.
They know we ain't shit, too. They trying to keep us from fucking shit up. You know? Because all our shit, we're violent.
We are pretty violent.
You know? They trying to look out for us.
I feel like as I've grown older, I've gotten more violent. Like more impatient with like people. You know what I mean? Like on the road, you know, I'll be on the road and I'm just like, motherfucker. Just
I like to see like a time-lapsed movie of your personality, like the progression of Eddie Sherman.
I used to be, if people think I'm an asshole now, you should have met me back in the day. Like people, like.
You were more of an asshole before?
Oh, way more.
And now you feel like you're getting more impatient.
Now I'm getting like more, like, so before.
Cycling back?
Yeah, you know, I think that's what it is. Because, well, before it was like I used to think that I was better than everybody. I used to think that I was smarter. I used to think that, you know, whatever. Yeah. But now it's just like, I think it's just, I'm just annoyed. I'm just like, I feel like I'm getting dumber as I get older. But at the same time, I'm like, these goddamn people.
But, you know, you're comedic. Your comedic personality is so inviting and magnetic and warm. You know what I mean? Like, you're saying sometimes you say, edgy shit, but you just look at you and it's like, he's a cool dude. So if you were like famous with that comedic personality, right? But then the stress of being famous would cause you to cycle back into the asshole Eddie. You'd be like Ellen DeGeneres or Lizzo and shit. People be coming out complaining about you, but nobody would believe it.
I'd be like a fat lesbian. Just like, I just transition.
You could be a trans man.
A trans woman.
Man.
What?
Yeah.
Is that what that would be?
I mean, I just see you. I see you side by side. Right here is where you should put a side by side picture of you and Yoko Ono's son. What's her name?
I don't know.
Cher's son.
Cher's son?
You know what I'm talking about?
No. I'll have to look him up. Oh shit.
Yeah.
What's his name? Do you know?
Trans man.
That's his name.
No,
I'm just gonna look up that, and it's gonna be like it's Cher's son.
No, I'm just saying he's a trans man. I don't know what his name is.
Have you ever thought about it?
What the fuck?
Going to the other side.
What the fuck?
You're like, sometimes you're down on your luck.
Nah, man.
Nefina. Come on, Nef Johnson.
I don't love myself really. I don't, I deal with myself, but that's one thing I'm sort of happy I don't have to wrestle with.
Yeah,
I have enough going on.
Dude, I feel the same way. I feel like I'm like, man, I have a lot of problems, but I'm glad that ain't one.
Yeah, and if I had that problem, I'd be glad I didn't have the problems I do have, because everybody's got a balance of shit.
Because I feel like I'm not even in the right pair of jeans. Like if I was like, damn, this body, like,
I hate that
I can't change out of this.
I hate that I'm intolerable of everything. But I'm a dichotomy because I can turn on my niceness and I can be like accepting of a lot of shit, but I'm really a mediator in a lot of ways. Like I ride the line, but for the most part, I'm irritated by everything.
I feel like that's where I'm at. I'm getting there.
That's a lot.
At what age did you hit that? At like 65, 70?
Nah, I've been like this my whole life. I was very mean as a kid, teenager. I was very violent. I'll beat you up. Or get beat up. I don't care.
Really? You were that person?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any brothers?
Yeah. Yeah, my oldest brother was...
Haven't I met one of your brothers?
Two came from Chicago to the Natalie show, but I don't think you were there.
I don't think I was.
And then...
do you have a bald brother?
Yeah.
I think I met him.
He looks just like me. He looks like me, a little lighter. Yeah.
Maybe.
He's like you. Sweet dude. You know what I mean? My older brother was the mean guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a middle?
I got that from him. Yeah.
Interesting.
Middle.
So like not enough love.
Well, I mean, I never saw my parents in the same room, so it's not like I don't know how that fares. Because when you're a middle child with a nuclear, like a tight family, then the dynamic is all there. But I was like, in between families and cities and sides of my family and high schools and whatnot.
What was the most motivational spot that you grew up in? Like, what was the spot that you like gained a lot of your perspective from?
So Chicago, man, is weird because the people there, if you, it's very segregated. First of all, super segregated, and then like, if you talk to the black people there, most of them will tell you that their grandmother is from Mississippi. I think it's Mississippi. Yeah, that's sort of Chicago's black is like a Mississippi migration, and Mississippi slavery was sort of distinctly different from a lot of the other slaveries.
Why do you think that they all went to Chicago?
They just walked north.
Well, yeah, but like, why did they all go to like, why didn't they go to any of their spots? Like, why did they all congregate?
Well, they had to get out of the South.
Yeah.
And so Chicago's like the biggest city where there was opportunity. So that was just like
like
logistically
one of the better spots to go to if you're gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, economically. And they went all, and they all sort of went together. And Mississippi slavery was sort of like extra brutal, you know. It was also sort of like where the pimp mentality came from. This was where the pimp shit came from.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? The slave masters had sort of like a pimp quality to them. And that's why you see pimp shit being so huge in Chicago in the 70s and 80s, because they adopted some of that same mentality on each other, you know what I mean? But because of that, plus the segregation, they're just a different breed of people, man. They're very unified in a way, but also like brutal in a way too, you know, but they have a code about them. You know, they have like a built-in honor system, a deeper level of morality, understood rules without having to explain them to each other. And so that kind of taught me how to deal with people with integrity. Where in Columbus, you just kind of don't have that.
Yeah, I feel like Columbus is just, I don't know. I didn't grow up here, so I can't really like attest to like what it was like. Mm-hmm. But all I can say is that like, it's an interesting city. You know what I mean, to say the least. I feel like, you know, being highly liberal leads to, you know, some destructive tendencies sometimes. But like other than that, I feel like, you know, because I mean, I didn't even start partying until I got here.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it wasn't like I didn't like drink or anything until I like came to Columbus. And it's not like I'm not saying that Columbus made me drink, but like at the same time, it was like, you know, coming to the big city, it was like, you know, this is what everyone's doing, you know, partying, you know, going out.
And what year was this?
14, 15.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So imagine in the past 8 years, how much the population has grown, and imagine what that's done to the comedy scene. You know, because we were a cow town, a family place. You know, and now we're sort of this bigger metropolitan area with like over 1 million, 2 million.
I think we're like touching if you're counting suburbs too,
which you should, because people in Westerville will definitely come downtown to hang out.
100%, yeah.
So,
and I think when I moved here, I think it was like 17, 18. So it's probably been like in the past like 8 years, like 200,000.
They're building apartments like crazy,
bro, and it's nuts. I fucking hate it. Like everywhere, it's fucking like this like residential housing, or not residential housing, but fucking, you know what I mean.
This is the place to be, man.
Yeah, but like they're ruining it. Like, you know what I mean? Like
we are. Do you know that we are like? I want to say. I'm probably about to lie. We're like less than 600 miles. Chicago's like 400 miles. I think we're like 500 miles away from 50% of the population. Mm-hmm. The U.S. population.
Yeah, that's why we're like a really good spot for human trafficking.
Yeah, and we're a good spot for like people who want to see their families but not live around them. You know what I mean? And people in New York got too expensive. You know, people want to come here. It's a lot. Look at the license plates when you're on the freeway. That's why we're the worst drivers in the country too.
Listen to this. I was just telling her this the other day. I was like, I know this exact reason. It's because most of the people don't fucking live here,
and they don't know the exits.
They don't fucking know shit about and the other people that do, like the other half that do live here, half of them don't live here. They're like college students or you know like people who
OSU is the biggest campus. Biggest campus in the country.
It's like, bro, it's like so nuts. And I feel like, and like you said, because we've been growing, the traffic's been getting crazier. And like the like construction that they've set up, have you seen some of like the new overpasses and shit that they're adding? There's one that's going so super high above a bunch of other highways already. Like, dude, like it's like, so like right now, I don't know what the area is, but it's like it's already like 5 different individual highways, and they're building like it's like a 6th one.
Sure. So we're about to be what all of the other major big cities have always been, but for the first time. And this is what this means for comedy, because right now we're in a comedy boom. You know what I mean? So you know, like that, sort of like in the times of George Carlin, right? So like, on top of us being a cow town who just came into like a big city sort of vibe, on top of us being like the light-skinned capital of the world, on top of us, you know what I'm saying? On top of us being like capitalistic people, you know, what I'm saying? Or progressive, I should say. I mean, you know, whatever the difference is. Like we got to like sort of shape up and figure out like how to behave. You know what I mean? Because we're about to have a crazy opportunity. Dave Chappelle's right down the street. You know, we've seen he don't care about coming here if the circumstances are
well, didn't
right.
he also buy the?
He's got a club that he's opening in Yellow Springs.
Didn't he also buy the
Wiley's?
Yeah.
He bought the building. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, you know, business takes a while. So it's like if he bought the building, like he's probably got to wait for whatever contract, or he's probably got to convince whoever owns it to get rid of it. You know what I mean? And it's like even if it is Dave Chappelle, if you're somebody who really likes comedy and your club's doing well, you're not going to be like, yeah, you know, no matter how much money, you know what I mean? If it's going well and you have the opportunity to like bring in, like, you know what I mean? Like there's absolutely no way.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I love Wiley's as it is, but whatever.
I was gonna say I'm liking the clubs. I'm loving the out of city clubs. For the first time I went to the Dayton, Kentucky club, or not club, but you know what I mean. The show, some comedy, whatever. What the fuck was that one called? The Comedy Lab or whatever.
I ain't hear.
Yeah, it was fun. That one is just like it's like a church converted into like a stage and everything. Yeah, it's pretty funny. That was like during Halloween time, so that was pretty fun. Yeah, Toledo is always a good time. I haven't been to the Dayton Funny Bone yet, but heard that one's pretty fun. But I haven't been out of the state yet. That's the next thing. Really? Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that like, well, after the OVI, I like haven't been able to like drive around really. So it's like, you know, but when March comes around, you best believe I'm fucking driving out of this place.
Chicago's good.
And you said that one's like not far.
Yeah, you can get there in 6 hours.
6 hours.
And there's a lot going on. You can enjoy the city while you're there too. It's good. It's a good first stop if you're not booked, just to get somewhere and do some mics and maybe try to get booked. I don't know. There's some clubs there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did the Laugh Factory, but that was not me. That was Bo from the Attic that got me booked on that.
Okay.
I don't know how he did it. I guess I should ask at some point.
That's funny. That's great. But so where can like people find your stuff right now? Like where?
Okay, so I got Nef Rizzle Instagram or whatever, NEFFRIZZLE. But I also got nefjohnson.com, and I've been filming a documentary, sort of like a docu-series, and I've got a real weird format for how I'm doing it, and I'm probably going to have at least one episode on nefjohnson.com, and we'll work it out from there. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of it, but
hell yeah,
there'll be a trailer and some other stuff there, and YouTube, Nef Johnson.
Hell yeah, dude.
One F. Not even funny.
Just, is that what it is?
Yeah, Nef Johnson.
Oh, I always thought it was 2 Fs.
Well, you looked at the Nef Rizzle handle on Instagram. You take the Rizzle off, you think it's 2 Fs or whatever. But there's like a company called Nef something. Nef.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for listening to the podcast. This was Nef Johnson, and we will see you guys fucking soon.